So we're going to be doing the rock cycle notes. The first thing you're going to fill in the top left-hand corner right underneath the rock cycle is how do rocks change from one type to another. We've done a little introduction on this before with our first notes for this unit, and we're going to ask a question to see if you remember how many different types of rocks there are in just a moment. So, vocabulary, we're going to go in the top right-hand corner and we're going to define a rock so we all are on the same page. A rock is a natural, solid mixture of minerals or grains that are made up of mineral crystals, broken pieces of minerals, other rock fragments, fossil remains, or volcanic material. So the key word there, it's all natural, and it comes from other things. Rocks just don't get created out of nothing. They actually come from other types of things. So first thing we need to do is on the left-hand side, you are going to fill in topic question number 1. So make sure you do that. And the first topic question are, what are the 3 major types of rocks? You are going to need to know that we have 3 types. We have igneous rocks, sedimentary rocks, which we've talked about before, and metamorphic rocks. We are going to be going into greater detail of how we get these types of rocks, along with doing a hands-on lab, simulating the different types of rocks also. So let's start off with the left one. Igneous rock are from cooled volcanic material. So it comes from lava when it comes above ground and cools down. If it stays underground, magma is the liquid rock. And if it cools underneath the magma, then it's also igneous rock. Sedimentary rocks we have talked about before. Those are from compacted small sediments. And metamorphic rocks, they form from extreme heat and pressure. Okay, we are now on topic question number 2. So on the left-hand side, you need to fill in what drives the rock cycle. So if you could somehow see in slow motion, you would see that rocks are changing all the time. It happens so slow that you actually don't usually see it in real time at all. So you would have to see it over a long period of time. The rock cycle is a series of natural processes that change one type of rock into another type of rock, and that is the rock cycle. We're actually going to be going over it, and it's not the same cycle over and over again. It can go into different directions. So any one type of rock can be one of the other types of rocks, and so it's pretty cool. Continuing with topic question 2, forces on the Earth's surface and deep within the Earth drive this cycle. So there's things above the Earth here on land that we can see happening, and then there's other things deep within the Earth we actually don't see happening that also contributes to the rock cycle. One of the things is weathering and erosion. Weathering and erosion happens by wind and water, which breaks down rock into sediments. So fragments of rock like sand and silt. So when you go to the beach, the sand at the beach is eroded from rock either by the wind or the water. When we have a nor'easter or a really bad storm, we can see weathering and erosion in action. Sometimes part of our beaches are taken away. And so we're going to learn the difference between weathering, erosion, and deposition, which is another word we're going to be going over in the future. Inside the Earth, we have heat from the Earth's interior, which melts and deforms rocks. And then also deep within the Earth, we have the pressure from the Earth's interior, which compacts sediment, pushes them really, really hard together, and cements them back together. Okay, so we're on the back side now, so let's go to the left-hand side. This is topic question number 3, so make sure you fill that out on the left-hand side. How are rocks changed during the rock cycle? So we're going to go, we have this funny looking chart in the middle of our page. My slides are going to look a little bit different than yours, so just make sure to listen and follow along. So what we're going to do is we are going to look at the box that is at the top between the words sediment and sedimentary rock. We are going to fill out that first box. We go from sediment to sedimentary rock when there's something called compaction, when the little tiny pieces of sediment are pushed together where there's no room to go. And then sedimentation, so the pressure as we get the different layers together cements it together into a solid rock. Then right below that we can get sedimentary rock that goes back to sediment, and that happens from weathering and erosion. And the main two things for weathering and erosion again are water and wind. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to go to that third box right down in the middle that has an arrow going from I take that back. We're going to go to the box right below sediment, and it has a box going from igneous rock to sediment rock. So mine looks different than yours does. Mine looks like it's going across, yours is going from down to up. So make sure you're looking at the igneous rock. So igneous rock becomes sediment also from weathering and erosion. Remember, the two main things for weathering and erosion is water and wind. Now we're going to go to that middle box that I tried to get you to go last time, which goes from metamorphic rock to sediment. And once again, we can get a metamorphic rock into sediment from weathering and erosion. And two main types of weathering and erosion is water and wind. So no matter what type of rock you have, to get it to be sediment, there has to be weathering and erosion. Okay, so now we're going to be on the right-hand side. So we can get sedimentary rock into metamorphic rock by adding heat and pressure. The way that you get heat and pressure is deep, 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 deep down inside the earth. Now we are going from igneous rock to metamorphic rock. So we are going to go right next to igneous rock, and it goes straight across. And again, to get igneous rock to metamorphic rock, we need to add heat and pressure. And the only place to get heat and pressure is deep inside the earth. So no matter what, to get a metamorphic rock, we just need to add heat and pressure to either a sedimentary rock or igneous rock. Then we have metamorphic rock, and we're going to go to magma. Metamorphic rock has to be melted. So magma is melted rock. So, igneous rock can also become magma by melting, but we can create igneous rock when that magma, that liquid rock, is cooled. So this looks like a very, very confused rock cycle, but if you take a look at it, no matter what type of rock you have, if you have weathering and erosion, you will always have sediment. Sedimentary rock only comes from sediment. Metamorphic rock can come from the other two types of rock as long as you add heat and pressure. And then if you melt an igneous rock or melt a metamorphic rock, it becomes magma. Sedimentary rock cannot become an igneous rock. What it needs to do, it goes from being a sedimentary rock, it goes to a metamorphic rock, then it melts, and then it becomes an igneous rock. So it has a way more steps than everything else.